Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Dr. Sumit Chaudhary, Head of Department Computer Science and Engineering, English University. First of all, welcome you all to today's webinar on very interesting, that is artificial intelligence for all. And I'm very thankful to our today's expert, Professor Dr. Ketan Kotecha sir, for accepting our invitation. I'm very fortunate to give introduction of Professor Kotecha. So, Professor Kotecha is currently working as Professor of Data Science and Engineering at Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence, that is SCAAI, Dean Faculty of Engineering, Symbiosis International, Faculty of Engineering, Symbiosis International University, Director, Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Chief Executive Officer, Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and he is TEDx speaker 2015 too. Dr. Kotecha is having more than 25 years of experience in the finest engineering colleges in various high technical education institutions. A researcher, teacher of deep learning, his interests are artificial intelligence, computer algorithms, machine learning, computer algorithms, deep learning, higher order thinking skills, critical thinking, and examples. Sir has more than 100 papers of international conference around the world and has more than 25 years of experience in teaching and in education also. Dr. Kotecha was founding Provo, Gujarat, largest private university, that is Spa University, and he was director academic development and cell my university, Ahmedabad. So I welcome you, and I want some comments from Abhinand sir and Dr. Ramesh Vyas sir also regarding today's webinar. After that, we will start the session.
Yeah, thank you, Sumit, for giving a nice introduction. First of all, students who are joining on FB, Sumit, you can make it FB live because of
I'm trying to
mainly go to FB, so you can make it live. And I would first like to thank Kotecha ji for sparing his valuable time and taking such an important topic. Future is AI, and the knowledge bank which Kotecha ji is sitting on is lying in his brain. So we have got a very important person for us to drive through this topic of artificial intelligence. If you look at it in next 5 years, you will find AI everywhere. Today, in fact, if you look at it, or most of the mobiles are connected with your watch and everything. Today, I'm able to see through AI what is my pulse, what is calorie which I have burned, and I'm able to analyze the data. One of my friends in stock market, Rain Technology, Raghu, he's able to do lot of AI trading, tech base. He's making huge money from AI base. So AI is everywhere. And if you look at the future and scope, is going to continue. If you look at the driverless car, if you look at the driving technology, it is all going through AI. So AI is coming into every aspects of our life. And I think that uh, going towards this topic for a university which is coming with life science, for us also it is an important topic to drive to the next level of generations and the topic. And thankfully, since Dr. Kotecha sir is here, who is a knowledge bank in AI, we should take this advantage to gain most of the knowledge out of it. And I always feel that whenever he is in Ahmedabad, we would like to listen to him in the face and come to our campus, and so that the kids can have a better interactive session with him. Thank you, sir. Amish bhai.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon to one and all. And I think students are more joining on the FB than this webinar because it is the most popular, very handy instrument for them. So they are joining more on FB, that we can see. And yes, it is always pleasure to listen Dr. Kotecha. I have experienced that thing, and he is a very good orator. So I would love to, rather than taking much of the time in speaking or in creating a fence between the audience and the speaker, I would like to listen him the most. So I would like to invite Dr. Kotecha for the speech. And yes, definitely we would like to see him on the campus soon.
Sure, sure, sure. So thanks, everyone. First of all, thanks, Shumit, for a nice introduction, and thanks, Abhinan. After so long, again getting connected, and I'm sure you know a lot of AI now, the way in which you talk. And Amish, is our all-rounder at Nirma. He was, in fact, any work which I was giving, he was doing with an 100% dedication. So I think, Abhinam, you and your team is really lucky to have Amish at your campus. And thanks for inviting me. So I will just start the talk, and because being a first talk, my goal will be to encourage and ignite the youngsters for AI. Because if I go in a lot of theories, I'm sure they'll be muted for sure, because since 1 year they are in front of a screen, so they want something to be different and exciting. So what I'll do is I'll try to give different applications of AI, and which will ignite them for studying AI in future. And so quickly, let me share my screen. So I'm sure it's visible. Yeah. So yeah, this is my disclaimer that I'm not the originator for this particular slides. So I'll start with the journey, and before that, let me tell you, as somebody told me in my introduction as well, we run a Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence at Symbiosis here, which was established before 2 years, and large number of funded projects we are already executing. We got already a couple of crores of grants from Government of India for that particular center, as well as our university is too generous to support equal amount in that. So we have a hefty 4 crore funding right now, and we offer a lot of internship to the students all across, including we have students interns from IIT Kharagpur as well working with us, right? So it's all virtual internships. If any case somebody of you are interested in that, but we work in a very cutting edge technology, applying AI to different domains. We don't do research per se in AI, which Google is very good at, but we apply AI, as Abhinan was trying to mention, that apply AI to stock market, apply AI to healthcare, apply AI to drone, apply AI to several different technologies, and make that technology enhance and better in terms of working. So that's our center is doing. I have 60 brilliant students of undergraduate working with me, 20 PhD students, and 5 faculty members. So that's center all about. And of course, all the infrastructure facilities required for the center, a very hi-fi computer, GPU that is also available. And other softwares are obviously in AI, they are free. So there is no need of that, but it's a good manpower I have. Almost close to 85 people working in that particular center, and a large number of publications. In fact, every month we get some very good quality Q1 publication from our center. So to start giving the introduction of AI, AI is not new. It is in limelight right now, but in 1950 AI was there, and it was born nearby that particular point of time. And it was termed as artificial intelligence from 1950 to 1980. After 1980, the terminology is changed to machine learning. And then 2010 onwards, it has become deep learning. I'll try to explain that terms. And now again in 2020, it has gone back to a definition which is termed as artificial intelligence. The reason is, you see, if I try to explain the difference here, or first the definition of AI, whatever way human beings, suppose as a human being, we perform some particular task, and if you do it something in a better way, the opponent will tell, other person will tell that some IQ has been demonstrated by this particular person. So if computer is demonstrating this kind of IQ, it is called artificial intelligence. I'm sure everyone knows that. But there is one more important thing with human beings. While you perform, while you demonstrate your IQ, you learn as well. For example, you've taken an admission maybe in some particular discipline right now. Maybe in future you will realize that your decision was right or wrong or what, right? So based on that, you will guide others that, okay, this is the way I did, but based on my experience, this is now the new situation. So that's what is called learning. Human beings are learning based while performing as well. So if machine also learns while performing, that is called machine learning. So from 1980 onwards, the machine has also started learning while performing. And that's what the machine learning terminology has come, which is again artificial machine learning, but that artificial word has been dropped afterwards. Then in 2010 onwards, something different has happened. 2010 onwards, there's a lot of sensors came into market whereby you collect a lot of data. Earlier, it was not possible to collect a lot of data. So for example, a simple example is, there are a lot of cameras everywhere for surveillance. So we can capture the videos, which was not available no, maybe 10, 20 years back. So now a lot of data is available. Second, the computation power has also become enormous now. There is a Moore's law which tells that computation power doubles every some time. So that particular phenomena has happened because of sensors. We could collect a lot of data, as well as a lot of computation power has become available from 2010 onwards. And there's sort of a new branch which has come up, which is called deep learning. So I will explain deep learning by differentiating machine learning and deep learning in the next few slides, after a couple of slides later, right? But AI is what? Computer is demonstrating IQ like human beings. Machine learning is what? The computer is learning while performing like human beings, right? And in deep learning and machine learning, I will come back to you. There are a lot of applications of artificial intelligence. None of the things which are mentioned in this particular slides are, fantasy. They are already available. If I start from banking, there's a huge usage of, artificial intelligence in banking. If you are keeping a credit card, for example, if you are using regularly, try to do some transaction which is an outlier. For example, you are using only 2,000 rupees a day or in a month. Try to spend maybe 2 lakh rupees. You will be immediately get an alert from an AI algorithm that there is something wrong here. If you are not utilizing your credit card for a couple of years for international transactions, try to do a small international transaction today. AI algorithm will prevent that there is some outlier here and you can't do that. It's not banned, it's not disabled, it is enabled, but AI algorithm will give a warning, and then you talk to the bank person, then he will tell, okay, now you can do that, right? So these kind of things are possible using AI, one of the things I told. In transportation, intelligent transportation system, I am sure is happening right now, and you are also doing that. You are using Google Maps and so many other things while doing transportation. In retail spaces, in cashless transactions, I think it has become a reality now. So there also we are using AI. I'm not going in too much detail, but I'm trying to give one example each. Education, I think we have been surviving in last 1 year, taking an online education, maybe taking an online examination because of AI. Particularly, we have taken an examination where if you see outside the screen, if somebody is giving you the answer of the particular question which is reflected on the screen, then AI algorithm will catch that particular frame and the person will be debarred from the examination. So this kind of softwares are available which are totally AI based, and of course a lot of other things in plagiarism detection and everywhere in education the AI is used. Communication, for finding automatically spam emails is one of the example, apart from several other things. AI is used. Gaming, I'm sure so many of you are addicted to game for overnight playing of the games, and game is a perfect example of AI. Computer plays against you and wins against you, and that is all because of AI. Media, particularly in the fake news kind of things, also AI is now very, very active, where AI detects the fake news, and also a lot of other things in journalism is related to AI. Hospitality, smart hotel rooms, and smart supply chain, which is need of the day right now. I'm sure Abhinan in the that particular plant by Cadila, I'm sure they must be using a lot of supply chains right now for delivering the vaccines. So that is also AI based. Entertainment industries, there are movies without any characters, real characters, right? All this because of AI. Workplace, in the sense robots are doing a lot of work. Amazon, on Amazon, there is a robot available, 25,000 rupees only, where it can clean your house, which is very useful now, where the maids are not available, right? And particularly in the corona situation. Mobile, I'm sure there's a lot of AI. Voice to text is one of the simplest possible example, where you need not to type on WhatsApp, you speak and computer types. So that's definitely an example of AI there. Sports, lot of now sports industries are doing this automation. I'm sure you must have seen the latest news from Anil Kumble. Anil Kumble started a company which is AI based sports. What he's doing is, AI teaches the next generation players how to play like Virendra Sehwag or Sachin Tendulkar, how he hits the six. So all the analysis is done based on the video. AI algorithm finds out and give the guidance to the next generation. So that is completely AI-based academy has started very recently. In aerospace, in online shopping, I need not even tell, all of you are very expert in that. In online shopping, even if you talk to someone about some particular product, you will get an advertisement. Right? That much level of automation is there now. Just on a phone call, you tell your friends about some particular product. Next day morning, you will get an advertisement on your phone of that same product which we are talking about. Right? So everything is taken care by AI. In fact, I tell that Google knows more about you than your mother, and I'm sure it is true as well. What you do with WhatsApp, what you do on Facebook, your mother may not be knowing, but Google is having each and every timeline. Everything is available to Google. Tremendous use of AI is in healthcare right now. I'll be telling one or two examples in next couple of slides. Also the agriculture. There are three industries rather, where the AI is used maximum, which is banking and finance, healthcare, and agriculture. So I'll give you that couple of slides as well in my presentation. In real estate, we need not to visit a home. Entire 3D view you can view and you can buy a house. Social networks, all kind of recommendations to you is from AI. And defense, if you want to have an unmanned vehicle to target the enemies, it is AI. Smart homes, cybersecurity, insurance. Insurance, I'll tell you one thing, next generation insurance which are coming, which are linked to your daily routine. If you are not going for exercise, AI algorithm is going to find that you are not doing exercise and your insurance premium will be 1.2 times, right? Or other way around. If you are doing exercise regularly, you will get a rebate on your insurance premium. So that is going to be found now by the insurance company. So that next generation insurance are already there in the market and will come to India very, very soon. Event management, everywhere AI is used for managing the entire event. And politics and government, we have seen that either Obama or our honorable CM or PM now has won the elections based on a lot of social media, right? And that is also because of AI. So what I'm trying to tell is AI is a tool now. It's like Microsoft Word, where you cannot tell that AI belongs to computer engineering. Like you cannot tell that Microsoft Word belongs to computer engineering. Everyone needs to learn that and use that. So in future, I'm sure that everyone needs to learn AI and apply in a particular domain. If you are a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer, or maybe you are a scientist, or maybe you are in media and communication, or you may be in banking and finance, you need to learn AI and then apply that particular technology in particular domain which you are expert in, right? So it's not only related to now computer engineering. One more thing I would tell is those who are, rather I put it in a different way. Suppose you are a mechanical engineer, then AI will not replace your jobs in mechanical engineering, but the person who knows also AI and mechanical engineering will definitely replace a person who is only knowing mechanical engineering. That is for sure. Right. So that's important aspect. I'm sure you need to understand that you need to embrace power of AI for the domain in which you are working to enhance that particular domain. So I already given the definition of artificial intelligence, and this is the diagram, a set diagram, which you can understand that this is a very broad term. Within that, there is something called machine learning, and within that, there is a deep learning. So for safety, you can always use anything as artificial intelligence. So automatically machine learning or deep learning is covered inside that. And this is the difference between machine learning and deep learning. You may not understand from this picture. Then in case of, in a layman's word, if I want to explain the difference between machine learning and deep learning, in case of machine learning, you need to ask computer what you want computer to do, and second, you need to tell how the computer should achieve that. So what and how, both to be specified to a computer. Let me repeat. In case of machine learning, if you want a particular thing to be done by a computer, for example, game to be played by a computer, you need to tell that, okay, I want to play this particular game. Rather, I want to design this particular game. At the same time, you need to give an algorithm to develop that particular game. So what and how, both. In case of deep learning, to your surprise, you need to only ask computer what you want. Computer will find out a new method and new algorithm to achieve that. And that's what it is too far. That's what I was telling, that I'll tell you the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So that's what deep learning is, a very recent phenomena where you are asking only computer what you want computer to do. You are not teaching how to do, right? In a normal way, it is more powerful, right? It's same as telling that there is a brilliant student here, and student is asked that, okay, you just study this many courses, right? And then there is a teacher who teaches a student a particular course. Obviously, there is a good thing, but there may be a brilliant student who will do self-study better than the teacher. Because in first case, its imagination, his IQ is limited by the teacher's IQ. But in second case, he can do his own. So that is deep learning. And that has become now popular in 2010 onwards. And there are two reasons of getting that popularity of deep learning. One is, computational power, and second, data. So for example, if you have been given data of, let's say, some supermarket, let's say Big Bazaar, huge number of transactions, then deep learning will automatically find out that which are the items which are sold maximum along with some other items, for example, right? So that you can find out different schemes, and the schemes or etc. which supermarkets are offering, that is automatically find out by deep learning algorithms using this data. You don't know which kind of schemes, and if you know, and if you want to validate that particular scheme, then it is machine learning. But you don't know the scheme, which scheme will be better, then deep learning algorithm will mine that particular scheme for you. And that is most important. And that's what deep learning is really very popular right now. There are, in artificial intelligence, there are three kinds of most popular algorithms, which one has to study. I'm not going to teach you that algorithms now, but I'll just give you the idea. The first kind of algorithm are supervised learning algorithm. So this picture tells everything about that. What you do, you have some apple and you tell this is apple, you know the answer, and feed into the computer. Once you give a new apple, computer will tell it's an apple. Supervised learning. If you, even computer is so powerful that if you give some apple which is not of exact shape, then also it will find out. Right? So this is a supervised learning, same as in classroom a teacher is teaching to you, right? So once the teacher is teaching you in the classroom, based on the feedback is what? Feedback in terms of your question answering to the teacher, feedback in terms of your body gestures. The teacher will correct himself or herself and teach accordingly. It's a continuous loop, and that's a supervised learning. Right. So that is the first category of learning. And there are several algorithms under artificial intelligence which falls into this category. Right. So you can do, suppose somebody, one of the example here is classification algorithm, whereby if you want to find out this given image is a cat or a dog or a lion, you can find out. Computer can do like human beings are also doing. Right? And these are the examples of supervised learning. Second category of learning which happens with AI is unsupervised learning. You see, this is the input and I don't know the labels. I don't know this is apple. I don't know this is what, which kind of fruit. I'm just giving that data. Now finding the underlying representation of the data, computer can classify or bifurcate them into three different parts automatically, because the computer will find out that these are similar. Like we also do as a human being. Computer will find out that these are similar. So this is called clustering, right? There are different clusters are formed automatically, right? So here also there is a definite learning, right? By the computer, computer is learning, but there is no supervision. There is no supervision means there are no labels given to this particular data, which is same as a video lecture. For example, if you turn on a video on YouTube and you learn AI, definitely a lot of things you will learn without a teacher. Only thing is you cannot ask the questions maybe. Only thing is video will go to the same pace, and even irrespective if you understood or not, it will complete after designated period of time. There is no supervision here, there is no teacher there, but then also there is a learning. So this is analogous to unsupervised learning. So computers are extremely good here as well in clustering the different things. And third kind of learning, which is called reinforcement learning. So all the games and all the robotic applications are based on reinforcement learning. All games, which I'm sure I'm telling again and again because that is useful, that always everyone is addicted to, not only youngsters, every one of us. And second, robotic applications, which is people are telling about a future, which is definitely going to be a future. So that robots also use something called reinforcement learning. So this reinforcement learning is very close to what human beings are doing. We learn by performing, while performing. So you see, this is an example here. Input is this one. So you ask a question, computer asks a question, is it mango? No, it's wrong. Somebody tells, okay, it's apple. Yes. So now based on that question answer, computer has found that, okay, this is finally apple, right? So it is learning by doing. So you can imagine that while robot is performing a particular task, it may fail or it may succeed. Once there is a success, it will remember that success. Once it is failure, it will discard that particular thing. So it reinforces the success, and that's what the name is given, which is reinforcement learning. So entire AI, even if you do BTech in AI, we offer here BTech in artificial intelligence all 4 years. Even if you do that, finally you'll be moving around these three different things: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Now in 2020 and 2021, there are new terminologies as well, which are called self-supervised learning or semi-supervised learning or weakly supervised learning, but they are all playing around these three broader terminologies. At nutshell, if I want to explain these three, this is supervised learning, right? Mom is there, is supervised. This is unsupervised. He's become expert in neural networks, is finding out that particular kid himself that this I'm learning, no mom. And this is a classical and perfect example of reinforcement learning. The way in which we start walking, like we fail, mother increases the distance, and then slowly we reach to that particular point. So this is reinforcement learning, right? And that is, again, I'm telling, most useful learning. And there are a lot of combinations you can combine with supervised reinforcement, unsupervised reinforcement. So many combinations are there in the literature of AI. And deep learning, which is, as I told, a new phenomena from 2010, uses three different algorithms. I'm not going in detail of any one of them. One is convolutional neural network, second is recurrent neural network, and third one, which are extremely magical in nature, which are generative networks. So convolutional neural networks, they are extremely good at processing the image to certain extent that right now we are in, suppose in Ahmedabad, and if you take 3 photographs of Ahmedabad city from a satellite, each and every road, each and every traffic conditions can be monitored using these 3 photographs only. That much power business convolutional neural networks are having, that much detailing it can do. So maybe as thin as your hair, that much detailing it can do. Then recurrent neural networks, they are extremely good at processing the text. So converting one language to another language, whatever Alexa is doing, everything is because of these networks, which are recurrent neural networks. And these are, Most important, they are very, very popular since last 5 years now, but in last 2 years maximum, they are magical in nature. So one or two applications I will tell you, they are doing magics to to that extent that if you train this network using some book, maybe 5 chapters of that book, 6th chapter can be generated. Okay, not only verbose, but the writing style also can be captured. So you'll be finding it too much exaggerated, but it is not. It can do so much of wonders, which are generative adversarial networks. So this is one of the example of CNN. It's very easy application as far as convolution neural network is concerned, that you put a camera in each and every car, you can identify. We have just finished a project with Indian Army where each and every number plate we detect in any environmental condition, and from there we go to the RC book and we find out every details about that particular car and just give an alarm if there is a car which is debatable or it is entered in some particular territory without any permission, right? So this particular neural networks are extremely powerful in doing so. As I mentioned, RNN, recurrent neural network. This is the example. I'm sure everyone knows this, so I don't have to go in detail. And these are the third GANs, which I told they are magical. This is one of the application which has been sold already. Application is you write this and computer draws this indigenously. You write any statement and computer draw the image. So you write that, you draw, you tell computer that I am in Switzerland. Computer will draw your picture in Switzerland. That is, I'm not exaggerating at all. So that much power in deep learning has obtained, and that's what it is everywhere. It is popular. Everyone talks about AI. It's not just because somebody has done a search engine optimization and doing Google publicity. It is actually so much powerful that people are talking about that. So this is one of the applications where you give a caption and image is generated. Right? You want yellow sparrow, you want a pink sparrow, you tell and computer will draw in front of you. Right? So this is one of the simplest possible application in fact GAN is doing, apart from a lot of magics. So having said that, I will give some applications to you further to ignite and to again and again justify that AI is a tool which everyone needs to understand, if not master, and apply in a particular domain where you are working. That also means that it's not, if you want to use AI, if you want to be in AI industry, does not mean that you should know only AI. In fact, you should know more of mechanical engineering, your domain, and then AI as a tool. You should know more of a civil engineering, and then AI as a tool. People having a different mindset, they feel that they want to just master AI, which will never be, which I have never been in last 20 years. I have done PhD in AI in 2000 from IIT Bombay, but still I'm nowhere compared to the algorithms which are getting developed. Not even 1% I know AI right now. So it's not possible to master AI, but you can always apply AI in a particular domain. Right? So don't forget, people are just blindly going and switching to only AI and leaving everything apart, civil, mechanical, or science and everything, which is not the correct way. It is same as telling that you master Microsoft Word and you are conquering the entire world. No, Microsoft Word is a tool, right? So don't forget that. So in finance, AI is used everywhere, as Abhinav was telling. This is algorithmic trading, which is extremely popular. You need not to see the stock market, your algorithm will make money for you, right? So that is very much prevailing right now, and all kinds of things. If your investment predictions or chatbots or risk management or even money laundering prevention, which I already give an example, if you want to transfer to international some particular amount of money. So everywhere, in fraud detection as well, everywhere in finance, the AI is used right now. Smart city, I'm sure Ahmedabad is going to be a smart city for sure, and Pune as well. So for smart city, everyone needs to be smart. The manufacturing industry needs to be smart. The government needs to be smart. Citizens needs to be smart. So wherever there is a smart word, there is something here and there, AI for sure, right? So smart buildings also, which will find out that there is a crack in the building now, or there is going to be a fire, there is a gas leakage in the building. Anything, everything can be found, and that is AI. Smart transportation system, I'm sure we are using right now. And the next generation transportation system which is coming up is intelligent transportation system, ITS, whereby vehicle to vehicle there will be communication. So my car will talk with Professor Vyas's car, which we are passing nearby. And they will decide that, okay, there is a traffic ahead or there is something there, right? So right now it is not happening. Vehicle to vehicle, there will be a communication, right? So that's not happening right now, but very soon it's going to be reality. And there are so many things possible after that. Augmented reality, where your entire industry, mechanical industry, you can control from home using augmented reality. Whatever you do in your iPad, screen, that will be actually physically operated in your plant, right? Over internet, it means it can be anywhere else in the world, right? But you can see the 3D plant on your screen, you operate, and it will be operated physically as well, right? So that is augmented reality. And related to this is even digital twin, so which is also going to be future. Manufacturing industry, I'm sure Gujarat and particularly Saurashtra region, Rajkot, a lot of manufacturing industries, and if AI is used there, they will have a lot of edge, particularly in predictive maintenance. So I'll not explain everything, but predictive maintenance is what? Before your plant goes bad or any particular equipment within your plant goes in wear and tear, or maybe some issues with that, before that AI algorithm will predict that this particular equipment is going to go bad. How it is possible? You put a lot of sensors, get a lot of data, and based on several parameters, you can decide the outlier. Maybe the vibration of that tool is increased, or heat of that particular tool is increased. Based on that, AI algorithm will immediately tell that this particular part is likely to go bad. You can replace that, and that's what there'll be a scheduled maintenance or scheduled downtime of a plant. Without that, there are a lot of issues, right? Everyone knows that. So if you imagine a situation in Maruti Udyog, if one particular assembly is going bad, the entire plant needs to be shut down. But if you know a priori that this particular problem is going to occur, you can have a plant maintenance and everything can be stable. So this is a huge area right now. Your total GDP of our country can be changed if AI is used, and a lot of industries are now using this kind of things as well, which is AI driven. Very good use now mechanical engineers are also making of AI is generative design, whereby this particular car is not at all designed by any specification of the human. Humans have given specification to the algorithm, and algorithm has found this particular car, which is best. For example, you tell that I want a car design, my speed should be this, my fuel efficiency should be this, aerodynamics principle is this, Newton's laws are this, and then automatically the car design will be generated. And this is available in AutoCAD, the latest version as well. I'm not exaggerating at all, which is a generative design, right? So computer finds out best possible design automatically. Healthcare industries is booming right now because of AI. Obviously, predictive analysis is most important, where before actually some disease happens, you can find out well in advance, and also a lot of virtual assistance is possible using virtual nursing and so many places as well. One example which is extremely popular, I'm sure every one of you must have seen that, and this is image of a retina. You just scan retina for 5 seconds and you can find out 6 parameters of any human being: age, sex, smoking habits, and so on and so forth. Just 5 seconds of scan. So this has been demonstrated by Google, right? So Google has taken this data because huge amount of data is required before AI algorithm starts working. So Google has taken data from Bangalore, a particular hospital, made that particular device and sold back to that particular hospital, right? So that also I'm giving some clues that what Western countries are doing to India. Right? Then this particular thing is also happening right now. You know this car maker, right? I'm sure everyone dream of this particular car from this particular car maker, right? And then this car maker is now making robots which can do surgery for the human beings. And what is the accuracy of that? Close to 100%. It's extremely difficult for a human expert doctor to achieve that. and this has been achieved by the robot. So this car maker is now into robot makers. I'm sure you know this, wearable devices that is definitely using AI. Each and everything where you go is recorded in your Google Map, irrespective if you want it or not. Researchers at the Stanford universities are using AI to predict the occurrence of solar flares as well. Right, so it's from Stanford, so we can't deny. So you can see the level at which it is gone, AI. No exaggeration here. There is a band which is composed of AI. If you are in the another room, you will never realize that there are no human beings in the second room. Right? It has been demonstrated. As I mentioned, agriculture, everywhere it is used. For example, if you want to find out that how much pesticides I should use, you take a photograph of a leaf of a particular crop and you find out, right? So that is possible. Once the crop is ready, from a photograph taken from a drone, you can find out that crop is ready, right? Not visually, but there has to be some other things which tells that crop is ready, right? Not only visually, that is also possible to find out. If it is irrigation schedule, you can manage using AI. One particular application I have seen live with me is, in UK, the McDonald's is using this AI, particularly image of AI, to segregate the good quality potatoes to make the French fries. The French fries we take from McDonald's having some category of potatoes, very good quality. So that quality check is done by AI algorithm, right? And they take the photograph, so they'll find out that this quality of photograph is potatoes are better for us to make the French fries. So that's all AI. This is something which is unthinkable, which has been done by AI. This particular, I'll not go in detail of that. You want to know the details, you can search for Alex Graves. AI has generated handwriting of a human being. And this particular website gives also a practice session where AI algorithm can generate your handwriting. After some training, you speak in front of a computer and computer types. Everyone knows computer can type. There's nothing big deal now. But typing is no fonts of a Microsoft Word. They are your own handwriting. That has been demonstrated. This was a student who has demonstrated this, right? So this is possible now. It means you need not to write your thesis report. Your handwriting will never be coached by your teachers, right? So this is very, very scary. It means your signatures are also not talking. These are the handwriting of a particular student. So computer does not use any of the standard Microsoft Word, fonts. The fonts are original of a student. If you go on this website, they have categorically mentioned that they send this handwriting to US forensic laboratory, and forensic laboratory told no, this is not computer generated. But actually they were computer generated. Right? So this is height of the thing, right? So this is something extremely scary. Your signatures definitely can be done by a computer now. So don't use checkbooks, use Google Pay. So this is also an application which I'm sure everyone knows, but you may be using, but you don't know the theory behind it. This application is now available on desktop version as well. Earlier it was available on a mobile version, where once you are reading the email, you get 3 options below, yes, no, or something. Right? You try something different. If you're an executive like Professor Vyas, if you are replying an email, what you write is yes over a cup of coffee. You do it for 15 days, right? You'll be surprised that after 15 days, your first option will be not yes, it will be yes over a cup of coffee automatically. If you are a principal or a director who is always replying no, that don't do this, don't do this, your first option will not be yes, first option will be no, automatically. Believe me. So computer finds out your writing style and then gives the answer. It's not just predefined answers. It is customized for a different person differently. You write for 15 days yes over a cup of tea, then it will be coffee will be replaced by tea automatically after 15 days. So Google knows your handwriting style as well. And also it is possible to identify that executive is positive or negative out of it. Because if he is giving a lot of no answers, your no will be the first option, right? So this is developed by a student, which was a startup, which is called X.AI, and now it is purchased by Google in $10 million, right? It was started by a student, BTech student, and he started X.AI as a company, and it has been acquired by Google now, right? So this is also AI. Game design, I need not to tell, every game is having 100% AI. You can find out all the facial expressions of any particular person using AI. We can find out, but computer can also find out right now. And there are a large number of applications if you do that. This particular characters, which I'm sure very popular even now, what do you think? They are in the movie. You cannot download a particular picture from Google and put it in movie, right? There'll be a copyright violation. And the person who has designed that particular picture will ask 50% of your profit. And that's what this particular characters, enemy characters, are indigenously created by algorithms. These are the GAN algorithms, which I was telling they are creating magic, right? GAN creates this kind of characters. There is a company right now which uses GAN. If you start your own company and if you want to design your own logo, it's most difficult right now because it should not be same as any other logo in the world, right? And you will be always influenced by some particular logo which you have seen. But that company is using GAN to find out indigenous logo. You ask the company asks you 10 questions. Okay, which kind of logo you want? Cartoon or formal or something? Which kind of color combination you like? Which kind of theme you are having, serving the society or something. Based on the 10 questions, the algorithm designs and finds the best logo for you. Right? Of course, right now it is not free, but at least you can see on the screen. If you want to use it, you need to pay to the company. They are using GAN again, which is deep learning technology. This is now simply possible. Picture is given and you ask computer this text and computer replies this. Visual question answering is also possible now, right? So I can go on telling so many applications because this is all closer to my head. Most of the applications which I have told, my students are working upon as well. So I'll summarize in next 5 minutes now, which is there are some of the edge devices which are also available in the market. All of them uses AI in bit, right? It's an embedded system. So there is a fork available with AI. So how fast you eat, it will find out. So it will tell you to slow down, that this is not a good habit, right? So that is available in the market. It can be interfaced with your mobile phone as well. And it can tell so many other things as well. Brush is available, which is very smart. Most of us don't know how to brush. It should be vertical or horizontal. I'm sure there are a lot of confusions and most of us still don't know, believe me or not. So the brush will tell you that this is not the right way to do. This is the right way to do. This is the pressure which is required. This is the movement which is required. So everything is captured, analyzed, and it is displayed that your brushing style score is 88 and that's what you need to improve it to 100. Right? So that is also AI. If your indoor plant is there, if you want to control that plant automatically and you want to control the environment around the plant rather, that is also possible using AI systems. If you have a very good lawn and if you want to control automatically completely that will remain green because overwater is also not good or underwater is also not good and the environmental condition. So there are a lot of apps available there as well. I'm sure this is known, smart home securities available. Swing analyzer is available. So how fast you should hit, which angle you should hit, how much force you should give, what should be the timing. Everything is analyzed and then training is possible, which is very similar to Anil Kumble's academy, which I mentioned. This I'm sure everyone is using from the Fitbit. Cooker, my wife or my mother used to tell that after 3 whistles, switch off your gas, but it's no longer required. Once it is completely cooked, it will switch off, right? This is a very good product available for learning tennis. You play tennis and everything will be recorded and finally you will be guided that this is not the perfect shot you played. This is not the way you should have played this particular shot. So everything is given. So that's an automatic training by smart. So all these devices are available in the market. Smart bike, I'm sure. Door lock. Smart socks as well, which will analyze several things once you walk. and smart t-shirt as well. So I can go on telling so many things, but I will stop here. Because designated time I exceeded in fact 4 minutes, but that was I think vested in my introduction, so it's balanced. The last line is artificial intelligence will transform every industry just as electricity did 100 years ago between now and 2030. And it will create estimation of this much trillion GDP growth. This statement is made by Andrew Ng, who is Coursera co-founder, who is designer of Google, who was a professor of Stanford University, right? He has told this. So nothing to challenge here. So thank you very much. So I was a little bit faster maybe, but my goal was to just give a very bird's eye view today to tell you that AI is everywhere. And then subsequent, we can go in detail of any of the top technology because this is my bread and butter since last now 20 years, right? So thanks, Dr. Vyas for inviting me, and Abhinan and Sumit as well. And I'm seeing Dr. Namrata Bajaj after maybe 10 years. I was not knowing she is there.
Yeah,
Nice
madam
to meet you
is
as well.
recovering from COVID. So that's why, you kept madam in the backdrop. So she is recovering faster. Hope she will be out of danger in a week's time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Ketan bhai, nice talk. After this last statement, I remember the statement by Putin. Putin in 2017 visited a school, and he said that if you want to rule the world, you have to master AI. That's
Yeah,
what he
true.
told the kids.
True. Definitely true.
A statement coming from a very powerful leader about AI is truth.
Yes.
And a wonderful talk which you have given from the basics to everything. I know it is quite enriching for my kids, in the computer science engineering. Not only that, but for also science. It's most enriching that you can, both of you coordinate together to make a good product.
Yes.
A lot of opportunities which is available. You can take a lot of examples from smart bicycle to smart tools to smart meters. Everything has come up in the organization. And now most of these electricity meters are not going to be smart.
Yeah, they will be
So
prepaid.
there is a lot of opportunity.
True.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for
Why is sitting on those knowledge bank like you, and they are driving our young generation to the next level. Any questions with the kids they can ask. I don't know, the Facebook guys cannot ask it, so that's a problem.
I have one question to Kotecha sir.
Yeah.
What are the dangers of AI?
Lot of one is in fact I removed that slide because they were students. One of the dangers I already mentioned about generating the fake faces, fake images. So fake news is created right now by AI. Second, there are a lot of biases within the AI. Biases, I mean, if you design an application to detect cancer in Western countries, it will not work in South Africa, right? And you will rely on algorithm. Then there are issues. Third is, which we have seen in movies like Robots, that EQ is missing still, and that's what it can harm. It can kill the human beings only directly. That is certainly possible. Right? So these are some out of many of the dangers of AI right now. There are many. And that's what I think, I don't know, people are knowing or not. Before 3-4 months, there was a virtual conference in our country where it was inaugurated by our Prime Minister of India, and the title of the conference was RTAI, ART, Accountability, Responsibility and Transparency in Artificial Intelligence. That was a national-wide conference. So because it's very, very important, and most of the things are now going towards that. So just add to that, Professor Vyas is very good question. And that is one of the major reasons that AICTE wants us to teach the students humanities and social science along with the engineering courses, so that engineers will not bombard like Japan, not make an atom bomb like that, but they will use it in a positive way. So they should be told that finally engineering is for society's benefit, not for harming the society. And that's what they want us to teach: humanities, social science, ethics as a compulsory courses.
That's what we started long back.
We started in Nirma in 2007, this kind of things, and now in
Yes.
2017, after 10 years, AICTE has given that mandate. But if you
Yes.
see the Nirma's course structure of engineering, nobody was liking, but we have started ethics and critical thinking and creative thinking, started teaching that. Maybe that's what
Yes.
is number one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice one. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's why, the visionary thinking always helps.
Yeah,
Students
yeah.
don't realize now, but once they pass through
It
the
takes time.
and go through their job, they will understand that whatever, the college has given, that is going to help them a lot.
Yes, yes. That's what I do also. My guide told me that AI is future. When I did my PhD, I finished PhD in 2003. I was waiting for AI to come. Now everybody is talking about AI. And he gave me that PhD in AI in 2003. So I really appreciate his vision as well. Right?
Much ahead of time.
Yeah, much ahead of that. Yes.
It is the most difficult job to convince the people. When you see the future, when you can read the vision and future, but at the same time, you have to convince the people in the present era. That is the most difficult job.
True.
Yes, Sumit.
Yes.
Are you there?
So it's
Sumit is facing.
hello.
I think Sumit is
Yeah,
facing
Sumit.
his network issue.
Yes, sir, today I'm
Uh,
facing some connectivity problem here. I would like to request Jyoti ma'am if she is not here. She is always facing some internet problem. Okay.
Unfortunately,
I
today
request
we are facing huge amount of the network issue. We are having BSNL, you know this. So we are facing that issue. huge
No,
amount.
internet is also
But yes,
tired
I
of,
would like to
internet
take.
is also tired of us now, I think. Since
Yeah.
last 1 year. Since last 1 year. So,
It is in huge demand, and you see the energy usage is also used compared to the 2019. If we compare 2020, it is a used, there is huge demand of energy also.
yes, true.
So even though people are at home, industry is not working, but energy demand is increasing. That is
Yeah.
completely reverse scenario. But it is the fact, and that taught us what is the new normal and where we were going and where we should go now. So
Yes.
this is the year of realization for everyone, self-realization and society realization. Both are there in the 2020 itself. So it was a very nice interaction, sir. Thank you very much for sparing.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
as usual, with very simple example, with very simple slides, you convince the people, you make it a day like, students can, for a beginner even, it is a very good sign to learn AI. What is AI? They can understand interdisciplinary approach of AI. That is also well known to all of us now. So we can see that more projects will come in this way, where computer, mechanical, chemical, all are working together, and they may come for the future projects. And that was our vision. I think in 2007, 2010, we thought about the same
Yes.
thing, that now engineering only will be there. There is no computer or mechanical or chemical engineering.
Right.
So we are moving in that direction only. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thank
Jyoti?
you. Some other meeting as well. Okay. Bye bye.
Yes, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sparing.
Thank you, Ketan bhai, and we look forward to having you at the campus
Sure. I will.
whenever you are in Ahmedabad.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Once I finish my
our
second
other
year,
talks will continue.
I'll finish my second
Irrespective
year
of,
of vaccine and I'll come.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you.